I would like to introduce Miss Ginny Andrews, and she's going to give us an insight into her work, and we are so glad that she's agreed to do this. Miss Ginny, would you please come talk to us?
There we go.
Like you, I'm a school teacher, so I'm like, I yell all day, so I think
Well, it's better for the camera.
sure. Okay. Gotta be better. Is that good?
Little closer.
Good. Good. Check, check, Mike. Alright. So I feel like I'm set up for failure here because I am a high school public speaking teacher, an aspiring comedian who hopes to transition down into motivational speaking, so I should be good at this, right? Let me let you in on a little secret. I don't feel like I'm as good at this as I should be. So, any former students that may watch this video or current students, please don't. But if you do as I say, not as I do. I'm going to make this super short because, let's be honest, we're all here to listen to Taylor, myself included. I'd like to begin by thanking KJ. None of this would be possible without your help and guidance. I'm so grateful to you for your support and making this happen and for your friendship. I'd also like to thank Caprock Writers Association for allowing me to be a part of such an amazing group of authors, for allowing me to set up shop at the Arts Festival and sell one book. Meanwhile, my colleagues around me were selling out. And I'd also like to thank you for allowing me to do the Barnes & Noble book signing. That was a really amazing deal and just a fun day. So my book journey began in an unorthodox way, such as most things in my life. I mean, most of my book covers, okay? I was taking a graduate communication course called Intercultural Communication, and we were studying ethnography. And our assignments revolved around going to certain events, getting out of our comfort zone, and having to write about that event, but by turning the lens inward. And we did narrative writing and how we experienced that event through our perspective and our point of view. I absolutely loved it. However, after we got several of our papers back, our professor set us down. There was about 12 of us in the class. And she said things to my colleagues like, John, your use of rhetoric in this paragraph was phenomenal. Bob, your use of social exchange theory and how it affects communication and social norms was exceptional. Then she got to me, and she said, Ginny, your writing reminds me of Sarah Jessica Parker's character, Carrie Bradshaw, in the television show Sex and the City. I smiled and thought, wow, I really nailed that. That's what I was going for in an academic paper. But later this feedback would kind of be the spark for me to start my writing career. After college, I moved to Los Angeles and dabbled in the acting world, giving stand-up an attempt, a tanked attempt. And after realizing two things, one, I could not afford Los Angeles, and two, I didn't have any control over the things that were happening to me. I didn't have enough experience to get an agent. I didn't have enough, I couldn't get experience without an agent. So it was such a catch-22. And for this OCD control freak, it just was too much for me. So I decided to move back to Texas and start my teaching career. After coaching and teaching in Dallas for about 4 years, I decided to move back to Lubbock. I've got family here. And it was when I was in between teaching jobs that I started to write. A former boss of mine, several colleagues and friends would say, Ginny, like your whole life is just a comedy act. Like you get out of bed, just things happen. Like comedy follows you around like a hemorrhoid. Like I know. And they're like, why don't you write it down? And so I did. So I published my first book, Good Talk, in October of 2023. Self-publishing has been an eye-opening experience. Some good, some bad. It's a collection of comedic essays about all the malfunctions in my life. I wanted my debut book to be a quick, lighthearted read, meant to be relatable and cheer you up on the tough days. When it first came out, it had some success. On Amazon, it was the #1 new release in comedy for a bit, a short bit. And after that, it was at number 11 for a while, sandwiched in between Steve Martin and Jerry Seinfeld's book. I will take that. But on a side note, you do know that Amazon's rankings change hourly, so it's probably only 30 minutes, but that was the greatest 30 minutes of my life. And I will take that. And at one point when I was checking it when it first came out, it was number 3 behind the comedian Leslie Jones. She's on Saturday Night Live, so I was like, even if it just stays there for 15 minutes, I'm So that was exciting. However, my claim to fame is short-lived because it's since fallen in the rankings, and its success depends on how much money I put into marketing it. So not much, yes. So I'm still chopping away at getting the word out, trying to create a name for myself as a new author. I've had some great reviews on Amazon and Goodreads that have been such a blessing to me, and some not so great. My favorite review on Amazon was from a guy known as Glenn. He said, and I quote, "I won this book in a Goodreads drawing. A neurotic woman tells about her awkwardness and how it constantly embarrasses her. Funny, but I did find myself wondering if someone like this should be a school teacher." Thanks, Glenn. You're such a gem. With that being said, there have been some amazing things that have come from venturing out, as well as hardships, but such is life. What is in the future down the road for me? Well, poverty, because I'm a school teacher. But it's my big hope is to get my second book published, and hopefully that publisher will come back and republish my first book. I know that's a pipe dream, but one can hope, and all I can really do is just kind of keep putting one foot in front of the other. So many of the things I'm trying to do are kind of out of my hands. It's very, as you guys know, it's very hard to break into this field, whether you're trying to do the public speaking motivational realm, or you're trying to do comedy, or you're trying to just be an author. So many of the things are just out of your control, but all we can do is keep putting one foot in front of the other and just hoping for the best. I hope what this leads to is, I do dabble with stand-up a little bit, but I'm kind of discovering as I go through that I really want to do comedic motivational speaking. But that's a very hard field to break into, and if I'm being honest, I don't even know where to start. So I'm just trying to put one foot in front of the other and hopefully get the word out with my books and social media, and hopefully someday I'll get some gigs. One can only hope. But all we can do is keep trying. I mean, if you ain't taking, you ain't trying. So again, I'd really like to thank KJ and the Caprock Group for accepting me with open arms and allowing me to speak today. Now let me get off the stage so we can hear from the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Taylor. Thank y'all so much.